That down. Let's move on to this. You know, Rob, when I think back to Avengers Endgame and watching that, whether it's on your left or, you know, any of the huge, insane moments that happen in that, and all the videos I watch of audiences around the world watching Endgame and losing their minds and screaming. If you're like me, the first thing you think about when you think about the reactions that Endgame got is Mortal Kombat. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm being a bit facetious. But, you know, we got a Mortal Kombat 2 coming out, which is, of course, the sequel to the Mortal Kombat kind of relaunch that they did a couple of years ago. That, quite frankly, was not very good. Had its moments.
Yeah, had some cool stuff.
Had some very, very cool moments. But overall was not very good. Well, the writer and producer of the new Mortal Kombat 2 that is coming out is now coming out saying that he has been at press screenings. Remember, this is the actual filmmaker talking about press screenings. So you know not press screening, I mean test screenings.
Right.
So you know that it actually happened. It's actually the filmmaker saying it. He's saying he's been a part of test screenings where the reactions have been likened unto his in Avengers Endgame, with people jumping out of their chairs and screaming and hollering. Anyway, this comes from us from IGN. He wrote this, or he said this: "I am so excited for people to see this movie," he said, which is good. He's the writer-producer of course he should be. It's been done for a while. We've been waiting for the right release date and waiting for the right window. I've been to those test screenings, which are full of Mortal Kombat fans, and watching them react to it in the way I reacted to Avengers Endgame. They were cheering and jumping out of their seats. Every joke is landing, and they are loving it. It's one of the greatest moments of my life. Actually, I like hearing that. That's pretty fun. I can only imagine that kind of a moment. That would be pretty cool. That's why you get into the business. All right. So a couple of things. One is, I find it interesting that he specifically said that they did a test screening with a very favorable audience.
Right.
Hardcore Mortal Kombat fans. I don't know that that's going to give you much information.
Yeah.
But okay, so you do that. Now he's saying they are cheering and jumping out of their seats. Every joke is landing. Now again, I would be far more interested to find out what a general test screening audience felt about it, because that's going to be more representative of the 98% of the rest of the movie-going world. But this is nonetheless good to hear, because if you are showing it to even a very controlled, hardcore Mortal Kombat fan group, you don't want to hear crickets if you're showing them a Mortal Kombat movie. Yeah. You want them to get excited. You want them to be hyped. I'm just wondering if the things that hardcore Mortal Kombat fans are going to get hyped at are things that are just going to go right over the heads of just average moviegoers, which is, of course, where this movie will or won't succeed. But still, to hear him say something, it does seem a little hyperbolic to say Avengers Endgame level reactions. But hey, I haven't seen it myself. Maybe it will. Anyway, Rob, I can't remember exactly. What did you think of the last Mortal Kombat movie? And what do you think about the comments we're getting here?
Well, look, the last movie, it did have some cool stuff. And I did like a bit of it, but I'm not a huge fan. There's only so much you can do with this franchise. But in terms of, and I also thought it didn't go far enough, although it had, freezing blood and killing people.
Dude, we literally saw one guy cut another guy, freeze his spraying blood, grab that blood icicle, and then stab the man with his own blood. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen on the screen.
It needed more of that.
Yes, it did.
And that's you got to lean into that. And if they do lean into that, I mean, this could very well be The Empire Strikes Back or The Godfather 2 of Mortal Kombat movies.
Right.
And I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility if you have somebody who knows what they're doing. And again, it's how do you deal with an IP, and how do you deal with an IP at scale? There's a certain way you have to look at this and how you would embrace Mortal Kombat. And I think, look, Carl Urban was the number one thing that made me interested in this is that he's in it. Somebody, It's
Now,
like,
listen, I love Carl. Obviously, Carl has done my panel with me before. He's done a bunch of he had me come in, run the Q&A for the opening of his film. I love Carl, but a lot of Mortal Kombat fans have questioned whether getting Carl, who's in his 50s, was the right age range for Johnny Cage. And part of me is just like, Carl Urban, I think, was born to play Johnny. Him or The Miz should play Johnny Cage.
but I
anyway.
mean, if you look at his attitude, look at him on The Boys.
So good in The
Look
Boys.
at him as a necromonger in Chronicles of Riddick. Look at him as Judge effing Dredd. I mean, and in Lord of the Rings, he's a rider of Rohan. It's like you have a guy like that, and he anchors it. He gives you gravitas, and they probably knew it was controversial because he was a little older, but they've made it work. And the fact that, look, if every member of the audience is going to be like the chicken jockey scene in Minecraft, I'll see it just for that.
Odd that
If they can
mention,
chicken jockey this movie up with lots of Mortal Kombat references, bring it on.
Odd that you didn't mention Carl Urban as Bones.
Oh, yeah.
You know what, though? He was the best thing about Star Trek 09.
He was very good. He's very good as Bones. Then again, I like a lot more of that Star Trek than you do. But nonetheless, I don't believe that a lot of general moviegoers should take too much from this. Again, it was a very controlled test group. But still, you want to hear excitement coming out of it. And who knows? Look, I don't think this one can be much worse than the first one. It's got nowhere to go but up. So here's hoping, and maybe we will get these kinds of reactions. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Stitch Fix. Guys, you know I love movies, but you also know I have absolutely no fashion sense, and I absolutely hate shopping for my clothes. But thankfully, I have found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. With Stitch Fix, I get a stylist who understands my style, size, and budget, and they do all the shopping for me. Because look, shopping and figuring out style can be overwhelming, especially for somebody like me. When it comes to getting dressed, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I love having a Stitch Fix stylist. They really know what works for me. I get pieces that make me look great, and it's a real confidence boost. You just give your stylist your size, style, and budget preferences. You get to order boxes when you want and how you want, no subscription required. They send you personalized pieces, and the fit is always on point. No stores, no crowds, no stress. Just personalized looks that you will love. So guys, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Campea. That's stitchfix.com/Campea. Guys, question is for you. Are you looking forward to this new Mortal Kombat? Did you like the first one? I admit I was pretty disappointed with it, but still, maybe they learned their lessons. That's the great thing about failure. You learn from it and you make improvements, and maybe this will be that. Will this be the Avengers Endgame experience in theaters that we haven't had since 2019? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.